Now, we're going to go to the biggest controversy of the debate. To be fair and honest, the entire debate was a giant controversy. One attack after another. Let me show you the first couple here. We're going to go to videos 1 and 2. You knew that this was going to be a wild night as soon as these things happened, and they started right from the get-go. And here's how the brawl began.
That you acknowledge that, for example, you're the only person on the stage that's ever been fined for hiring people to work on your projects illegally. You hired some workers from Poland.
I'm the only one on the stage that's hired people. You haven't hired anybody.
Well, in fact, some of the people
and
he
by the
hired.
way,
Well, but hold on.
I've hired. And by the way, I've hired tens of thousands of people over my job. You've hired
nobody.
1,000
people
You've
from
had
another
nothing
company,
but problems
from another
with your
country.
credit cards, etc.
Let me say.
Don't tell me about that.
Let me finish the statement. This is important.
You haven't hired one
He
person
hired
in your life.
workers from Poland, and he had to pay $1 million or so in a judgment.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
That's a fact.
Totally wrong.
Well, people can look it up. I'm sure people are Googling it right now. Look it up.
Cruz.
Trump Polish workers. You'll see $1 million for hiring illegal workers on one of his projects. Yeah, he did.
Well, you know, it's interesting.
That happened.
I've hired tens of thousands of people over my lifetime. Tens of thousands.
Many from other countries instead of hiring Americans.
Be quiet. Let me talk. I've hired.
All right, and then we knew we were going to have some fun.
Yeah.
That's a nice little bit of controversy about the illegal immigrants that he hired. Totally true, right? And any other Republican candidate would have had their career ended.
Yeah.
Not their campaign ended, their career ended. If they found out that you'd hired, 1,000 illegal immigrants?
You might have slid by on the fact that they were Polish. White illegal immigrants, not as bad for the Republicans, but yeah.
Okay, so then that was Rubio's first attack against Trump. It lands. He counters somewhat effectively with, I hire people, you don't hire anybody. Yeah. By the way, by Trump logic, I should come in second in the Republican debate. I probably hired about 100 people in my life, right? Yeah. You're Rubio, you haven't hired anybody. I hired 100 people. I should be the Republican president. Okay. Anyway, now Cruz is going to attack.
And, he is right. When you stand up to Washington, when you honor the promise you made to the men and women who elected you and say enough with the corruption, enough with the cronyism, let's actually stand for the working men and women of this country, Washington doesn't like it. And, Donald, if you want to be liked in Washington, that's not a good attribute for a president.
Hey, here's a man, Robin Hood. This is Robin Hood over here. He talks about corruption on his financial disclosure form. He didn't even put that he's borrowed money from Citibank and from Goldman Sachs, which is a total violation. He didn't talk about the fact that he pays almost no interest. He just left it off, and now he's going to protect the people from the big bad banks.
We're going to move on to Governor Kasich.
Give me a break, okay?
Give me a break.
So there, Cruz trying to land a punch. I think Trump landed a punch back that was a little bit more effective. That's why, in the end, I think Rubio did better than Cruz in this debate. They hit him from both sides, but Rubio's hits were a little bit more effective. Now, to be fair to Cruz, later he did hit him really hard and over again on donating to Democrats and say, how can you trust a guy to put the Supreme Court justice on who's going to be conservative if he supported Harry Reid and John Kerry and all these Hillary Clinton and all these people before? So the controversies were everywhere tonight.
And there was also the apparently impending lawsuit as well, that theoretically he could end up having to testify in the middle of a general election, which would look bad. It's the sort of thing that we've been saying scares us so much about if Hillary were to become the nominee.
Yeah, that's right. On Trump University, we covered that on the Young Turks today, and Trump has been sued twice about that, including a $40 million lawsuit from the Attorney General of New York. And so he is in a world of trouble on that, and he's going to have to testify again in the middle of the campaign.
Yeah.
And boy, did they rip those people off, right? In fact, Trump University changed its name because they realized, knuckleheads realized afterwards, oh, right, it's illegal to call it university if it's not a university.
Yeah.
So nothing but controversy tonight.